Everybody in agencies always says how busy we are, but here's the reality. A lot of times we might be busy, but not effective. And it's worthless if we can't be efficient and effective together. So many people ask all the time, what should producers be doing all day long? What should their daily, day-to-day operations look like? And while there's a wide variety of producers between inbound, outbound, hunters, some do personal, some do commercial, small, big, medium, large, I'm going to go over what I think every great producer does despite all the varieties, right? So think of this as a 50,000-foot view of what I see the most successful producers do inside of their day-to-day operation. So the first thing is that they always get in early and are ready to rock and roll. And what I mean by that is, sometimes producers stay late, whatever early is for you, but they don't just roll in right when they're supposed to be there or roll in about 11 o'clock because they were doing errands all day. They want to maximize all the selling opportunities, both personal and commercial lines, that they can. And so their job all day long is to be present in front of people, be ready for opportunity. So they don't just come in late and kind of like have this ambiguous schedule. Again, the best producers are very regimented, whether that's starting to work from home, so they can get out on the road. They start their day ready to rock. The next thing that they do is all of them invest in some form of sales information. Maybe that's podcasts. Maybe that's insurance podcasts, general sales podcasts. They're going ahead and they're listening to YouTube videos or they're reading sales books. They're constantly feeding their brain so that even little things just become normal and natural. And you can see this in people, right? So people that are very good at eating healthy or working out, this is just part of who they are, and they embrace those communities. So great producers embrace the fact that they're in sales and are part of sales communities, are constantly fueling and feeding their success. The next thing that all producers do that I think is that are very successful is they are very intentional about how they spend their time. So the time is not spent chasing, the time is not spent taking the long Hail Mary shots. They spend X amount of time prospecting or following up if they're inbound. Even inbound producers still work lists to get outbound and calls so that they can fill their pipeline. They don't look at prospecting as optional or when there's time or a luxury. They look at it like, even on my best month, I'm still prospecting, because what we see so often is producers do the roller coaster, up and down and up and down and up and down. That is something that doesn't yield a positive result at the end. You end up flat and stressed. The next thing I see all producers do after they're very intentional in time blocking is every day, every month, every week, but every day as well, they're obsessed with their game plan for the day. This is like going into the Super Bowl without your plays. They have plays all day long. They build in time for emergencies because that's the pushback. Well, I don't know what's going to happen. Correct, but you have to be intentional that you're going to be able to get through that and work on your plan. So they sit down in the morning and say, what are my big 3 items I need to tackle? What does the day look like? How am I going to fit it all in? And then they can also identify, I'm spending too much time on this. This is a long shot. I need to move on. Or, hey, I have to let that lead go so I can make room for another lead. They also write down their goals every day where they are organically and transparently on this list, right? Like, I am 32% to goal, on track, off track. Just writing down that you're on track or off track every day is gigantic because it's the reality check. It's kind of like weighing yourself every day. I know that there's different thoughts on that, but hey, listen, if I go up 2 pounds one day for whatever reason, I'm watching my shiznitzel that day. That's the deal. So they're obsessed with just making sure that they're on track and they're not going to have excuses. And that's the last thing. They go back at the end of the day, they reflect, and they get ready for the next day. And I think so much time we see producers either just be quoters or just letting the day happen to them. But that's not what top producers do. Top producers are so intentional with their time. So check this out. We have a whole efficiency course that anybody in the agency, not just producers, but everybody can benefit from, because everybody in agencies always says how busy we are, but here's the reality. A lot of times we might be busy, but not effective. And it's worthless if we can't be efficient and effective together. So check it out, and we'll see you soon.